I mean, it's Kellen as well. This is a really powerful lane. Of course, the Braum will still have some utility for blocking some of what she wants to do, but I do almost everyone, which is very, very silly. Here you've got Viper and Delight just pushing up into Sobro. We'll see whether it is going to be a plate going on over, as Peanut is trying to set up for a dive here, and he just walks on in, puts down the ground, and there is the concussive blows. They'll just get the flash out from Sobro and go about their business, and maybe just look for a redive as he does dodge out of the way as Viper picks up the turret aggro. Sobro outplays him, and that's going to be first blood going over to BNK.
I don't think BNK can secure this without a, just straight up 4v4 fight here potentially, and because Zeka's also coming back.
Oh dear.
Daystar.
Yeah, Daystar does not have his R button available, as the culling is going to come on through, and there is the pillar. There is nowhere for him to go. I really think it's smart though. Valdez's boy Daystar not using his flash in that instance. He was very, very dead. The mistake had happened prior.
Yeah.
Let's not make it worse.
Yeah, no, certainly the right call there. But they're still going to give out this dragon, in which we had like the weird teleport from Zeka, which cost him
about it, or just lose.
And in the moments leading up to this Herald contest, Delight's going to have to face check.
Well, does he have to? He definitely does face check, and in fact, he just puts up the door and he's fine. Man, that's some extra points into the door, I reckon, as the train has left the station. Kellen is going to leave the Rift, has no bailout for him. It's a double kill of the bottom lane for the Scion in an instant, as the public execution onto Viper. He could be going down, bounced around. He's going to fall, but I just don't know whether it's going to not be enough to save BNK FEARX here, as Daystar looking for the charm. Another flash Winter's Bite goes wide there. Delight is at least consistent in this game. And HLE still very happy with the outcome, as, oh dear, that charm is going to connect as Delight gets in there with the door to stop Zeka from taking that damage.
Without Peanut, they can't go directly into this Herald easily. Raptor is also down, but low health bars here in here at this point for BNK. Daystar narrowly avoids that Winter's Bite, but like Delight got the locket, they were set up, they were like, all right, we're going to force this fight. I know they're likely in this bush, and we're ready to just pounce on them because Braum contained.
I think I oversold it as far as a win for HLE just because of the shenanigans that happened immediately afterwards. Rift Herald does come on through though. That is going to spell the end of this outer turret as Diablo takes a full culling to the head. And now Zeka is going for a bit of a drive. Peanut turns up, finds Daystar yet again. Remember, doesn't have the ulti, and the Azir is coming in. My God, the drifting on this man. Just swoops onto the turret, takes it down, and now it is Zeus' turn. All right, checking the brush there as well. Man, HLE is showing off. Have they been taking driving lessons from Peanut? Because of his cool motorcycle driving that he had that season, that one time as Raptor's dead. Crescent Guard does do a fair bit of work there in that moment. Public execution into the backline for Sobro, but the Emperor's Divide says, no, you are not dashing out of that one, and it's Delight that gets the kill. Zeka gonna flash immediately, as he was extraordinarily low, and Zeus feels immortal. I don't know whether he necessarily is, especially not against this on-hit Varus, but
but when it's broken up like this, I mean, BNK do fall like dominoes.
Well, nice handshake there from Kellen onto Viper, but he takes a Winter's Bite. That one's going to land. Viper does have to get himself out of the way, but just has to use a dash for it. Daystar will find the angle on this bottom lane, though, and there are some resets to come in. A double kill for Diablo at the same time. BNK FEARX going to be very happy about that, even if they aren't necessarily out of the woods.
Say a lot of things about how Viper is playing this first game, but respectful, I would think, would not be one to describe it as.
No, well, this is not respectful, but like, does Zeus need to? It's a bailout. Let's see whether that is going to work out. They almost take down Peanut, the subjugate. Almost working there. Sobro going to come in. Is 3 people enough to kill Zeus? No. The answer is no, ladies and gentlemen, as in comes Zeka, finds an Emperor's Divide. The handshake's decent, but not decent enough. And yeah, Zeus is a problem, and I do not have the solution.
Q onto Diablo. Kellen does his best to help him out, but the bailout is actually super close here. He even flashes to try to guarantee it, but is unsuccessful.
Oh, Delight, that was sexy. I think he got the steal, right? I did see money come up over his head. All right, Raptor going to split the fight here, but the door is doing so much. Public execution into the backline as Sobro finds Viper. They execute him, they take him down. Remember, the Scion still exists. Zeka trying to get the DPS down, but he will fall. And Peanut, the next one, just throwing this club into the opposition. Diablo doesn't get bailed out. And it's so far a 2 for 2. The disengaged cone going to come on through there as Zeus. He doesn't quite have the keys to the train right now, and he only has like 700 health. Let's see whether that's going to be enough. Soul Furnace comes up, and he will explode, but there's 1,090 gold for Soboro.
That's a lot of money. And that is a trade-up fight. And then, like, Daystar is just constantly applying damage here, and Zeus ends up getting the kill on the other side. Is the dragon... Okay, we're just fighting for a dead dragon.
Yep, we're going for it again, as the culling is just going to be eaten by the entire team. Zekra on a great flank angle as the handshake onto Delight is not fantastic, and Raptor doesn't have that Crescent Guard anymore. Still, they take down Delight, but look at this AoE. It's kind of repulsive. Raptor knows that he's going to go down, and now, oh god, that is not the ticket that they wanted to pick up. As Zeus will find the angle, the flash forward from Kellen. He will be able to take down Viper here, who's just really not having his most fun day today. The revenge is going to be instant, but HLE, they'll find everyone
they
except...
end up getting the group up there, so I don't think there was any world where they could have done a 25-minute Baron, but
all right, it's time to engage onto the Scion, and maybe it's going to work because Diablo is able to just get all of these Blight stacks on top of him. Hostile Takeover doesn't do too much, but it does enough. So Zeus going to start this fight off dead, and HLE in this 4v5 not going to be feeling too good about it. It could be a Baron angle here for BNK FEARX.
He used so much though, and they still have to stick to the Baron, and Daystar's cut off. I don't know about this. Soboro's got a nice angle.
Oh god, this is that minute later that we were talking about before. He does actually have enough CDR to get that ulti back again as public execution. Once again, it is magnetized to Viper. Unfortunately this time, they were not distracted. They just turn and they burn him down. Raptor now in trouble as Zeka will find the combo this time. It's a double kill as Viper's going to take the next one. That is 2 pair for now. Will they be able to find the full house with Daystar turning up as the door is going to block? The Ardent Blaze comes in. We just need a cute little dash, and that was a gorgeous pillar of filth there, Peanut. Beautifully done, and there it is. That's the full house, even if it isn't necessarily official.
Remember that story I told about Ambessa ulting onto the Lucian and then getting ulted by Peanut and then disappearing?
Yeah.
That was a theoretical world where that could have happened, and then it happened in reality there for Soboro in that last fight.
And it happened as you predicted. You know, sometimes the lab experiments in real life are kind of similar. As Nexus Turret number 2 going to be going down here as BNK FEARX desperately trying to defend, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Viper is just dashing around, trying to get a couple of extra kills, but the Nexus will explode, and HLE will take the win. It was not
Still
clean.
Close this one out, but I feel like Galio was one of the only picks you could have salvaged this draft with, because now you can somewhat match the globals. You have this Paisa that
could sense that there was a bit of a dive of Bruin. As all right, Raptor is just going to push him away from this.
Yeah, he gets away his stacks as well. Now they could look for the turn.
Yep, there is the exhaust onto Soboro. He's taking a lot of damage, and there's the stun onto Raptor. He is going to be able to get first blood, but it's traded immediately. And still actually works out right there.
He's not global very well here. Now he's just going to get chased down.
Yeah, you've got now Viper moving up, doesn't have his Featherstorm available, so I don't know whether they want to fight this. And exactly right, that is indeed. Thanks for the leash.
Delight had 6 prior to this, and they were able to make a play faster on the top side. Then he could have ulted Peanut and maybe made a play there with Zeka rotating over, but instead they kind of put their global on where BNK were going to come and suss that out. So Peanut's global means nothing because he's the one.
Oh dear. Equalizer is going to go down. Let's see whether Soboro can stay alive in this. Is the Stand United, the flash forward, and that is another kill onto Soboro here. Delight helping out his top laner. Gwen Shen is, you know, it kind of rhymes, and also it's kind of deadly.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about in the draft. It gives me the feeling that Hanwha Life have such an edge here, but now BNK rotating over, Diablo also coming up right now through the mid lane, and these grubs are what they're looking to take here. Delight, now ultless, has backed. Peanut's the target.
Yeah, Raptor comes on over. There is the heroic entrance there as well. The knockups, he was just unable to do anything forever.
Yeah, I feel like Hanwha Life kind of messed up this early game to protect. So Zeus already has that initial kill, and he's going to become a bigger and bigger problem as the game goes on.
Yep. Speaking of, okay, he is going to just exhaust Soboro once again, and Peanut comes on over. If the other global isn't on cooldown, you just get the other one, and then you kill him again.
It might be able to do it in a few moments here when Delight gets his ult back up.
And then Soboro may leave the game, and I wouldn't blame him.
This is the kind of stuff with Gwen bomb side of the map. Soboro knows this. Is going to try to push the advantage here. Raptor coming up. They're going to repeat the play from earlier.
All right, 3 might be enough here. Snip on cooldown does put up the circle, does have the needlework, so might be able to survive for quite some time. Stand United does come in. There's a taunt under the turret as well. Zeus takes so long to die, and Kellen, he's got an unbreakable will that will allow him to live.
There's nothing cross map here to be taken in return. So Delight opts to ult in here. Kellen's ultimate, while he tanks this turret, just buys so much space.
Oh, Cerberus, I think might be dead again as the Featherstorm is going to clear that one out, but it's a great pulverize from Kellen. Blade Caller comes through though, and unfortunately it's not quite enough. Diablo gets in on top, looks for Viper, who's still at 200 health, still moving forward, knows that they don't have much.
Peanut rotating over. Peanut had his ultimate available as well, and that's going to be a turret in exchange here on the play. So an attempted aggressive play from BNK backfires, leads to a turret plus Dragon here for Hanwha Life.
That is like catastrophic as far as what they lose off the back of that.
This is a risky call here, but they do have the faster group up. This may force said global ultimates.
Yeah, Teleport going to come in here as BNK, looking to try and take this one down. Grand Starfall does get Peanut in, but it's a great equalizer placement. Still Peanut gets the smite, Raptor goes in, and he's out again immediately, and so's Peanut. He's going to survive. The Featherstorm avoids the heroic entrance, and Daystar is stunned up as soon as he lands. No one dies, but HLE just steal BNK's lunch money.
Yeah, that was a really clean fight on both sides, but ultimately LA champion trying to come into the fight and clean up late is never going to happen into the Xayah. Ultimate fantastic there from Viper, and Peanut for more.
Yeah, Kellen doesn't have his ultimate, so he is a little bit more killable than he'd otherwise be. Checking in on the bottom side here as there's a headbutt back onto Peanut. Can he survive though? Does get a big old shield, and the answer's no. That is a lot of Acathian stuff thrown at him there. And so Diablo is able to...
Overzealous, to say the least there. Peanut was like, see champion, kill champion, question mark?
Ooh, Delight might be his turn to be in a little bit of trouble here as the woes of HLE continue. He gets a bit of a shield as the equalizer is going to help finish him off, and now Viper in an awkward spot. The Featherstorm is now on the ground, but he doesn't get a lot of value from the pullback as Raptor comes in, gets the double Cyclone and takes down the Xayah. Zeka is now a big problem, and so is Zeus. So the work isn't over yet. As 3 versus 3 here, Zeus just hunting them down. Possibly looking for stake first as he jumps out of the way of the monkey. There's the Justice Punch though as a heroic entrance does come down, and Zeka will finally join the fight and look to take them down. But it's Kellen with the Ignite actually that helps lock down that kill. And the block of the Justice Punch, oh no! Valdez's boy Daystar, that is not the time to mess it up, my friend. It was a good play.
It wasn't an amazing play for the rest. I mean, Kellen played that so well with Raptor too. Like, that was an almost unwinnable
this comp
fight.
is really good too. So BNK, see whether they can make it work as they are all grouped up. Oh no, the Engage Herald. Grand Starfall to come down as well. Diablo is going to be the target here. How does he play Scion twice? It's fearless. This is not fair. And Zeus is not even the one that's helping lock down these kills. Daystar is already dead. Raptor goes down as well. And BNK FEARX, I guess they had one good fight in him. And now it is all kind of done and dusted as that one looked like they had run out of that said fight completely.
Well, that's a creative way to flank with Gwen. We've seen a new tech.
Oh, he wasn't playing Scion again. Oh, okay. All right, good. Well, at least he's not doing something illegal.
One of the trickiest things about playing Gwen oftentimes is because you're melee, you're trying to get on top of those targets, but you kind of have to run at them. Has a little bit more agency. Even this far down on gold, it feels kind of playable. As Sobro is, he's in the side lane, it's illegal.
Yes, he's not allowed to be there. Viper is going to walk down the red carpet, but that's only because he's a famous guy. Never mind, he's actually a dead guy. As he does pull back some feathers, does manage to do a fair bit of damage there to Diablo, as now Peanut is in a lot of trouble. In goes Delight with the Stance United, but the heroic entrance is there to answer, and Zeus has found Diablo in the backline. Snip, snip goes the Gwen, and he's looking to take him down. The needlework is beautiful. He's crocheting them in the backline, as Kellen also going to be falling down. There's the Shadow Dash from Delight. And it's once again one of these fights where BNK, they find that angle, they take down their target that they're looking for, and then it goes catastrophically wrong.
Yeah, then the really fed Gwen shows up and you're like, oh.
Yes.
And the target selection, you know, a little bit...
Yeah, and out of like that's probably what did it. The level advantages are kind of absurd. Delight now level 11. As Kellen's moving over, he is going to get taunted up as he finds the ultimate button. Viper from over the wall. There's the equalizer that goes down, but it's not doing a whole lot of anything at all. Zeus goes golden. They might be able to take him down here, but instead he's just going to kill his fellow top laner. The Featherstorm comes down, and it's used offensively here by Viper as Peanut says, top of the morning to you, Mr. Cowman, and takes down Kellen once again. That's going to be the ace, and HLE, yeah, this is an impossible...
Everybody, while you have the lineups and you have these CCs, then maybe this is winnable. Maybe Diablo gets that first kill. Maybe Viper has to ult a little bit faster, but with a big whiff of the ult like that, it's just simple.
HLE look to defend this Baron.
And they had so many ults on cooldown, but now they're coming back. Viper's ult's almost back up. And that's the big one here.
Oh, Zeus is just going to face check this brush. I think he's going to be absolutely fine. As in he goes, they look for the angle onto Raptor, who is just going to get over the wall, but does die. That is going to be Peanut sniping him with a spear. Over the wall goes Zeus. This needlework is doing too much. Absolutely too much damage onto Diablo here. As Zeka, he's going to follow up and look for another Q. That should be there. There it is. And it's another ace. Out of nowhere for HLE. No Baron required, I think, as they look to break the base.
They're just going to walk down and end this time around. The last time weren't quite able to finish off of, but this time they're right here with a wave of minions. Zeka with the question mark here, and BNK just getting obliterated by Hanwha Life Esports. In the one-sided series we expected, but I at least want to give BNK credit for making it a good old try, especially in the second game. It was better than I expected.
How easy is the Zeus POM though? Like, am I right? 7,000 gold ahead as they look to brawl a little bit more. That Featherstorm did a whole lot of work there for Viper as he grabs another 2. 12